Hello, and welcome back to Rogue Trader. If I'm not mistaken, we had something to discuss with High Factotum Janris Danrock. The High Factotum greets you with a cool smile and the merest hint of a bow. What voice did I give this? It should be some like, a pleasure to see you, Captain. How may I be of assistance? Let's start with the... Man, there's a lot of stuff going on here. I'm gonna start from the top. This will probably take us to like a... I imagine this will be like a... What the fuck am I trying to say? Like a mission on the ship. Vigdis informed me about a problem with the servitors. What happened? You see, your ladyship, the ship's servitors have been malfunctioning of late. They violate protocols, interrupt their tasks, observe crew members for long periods of time, and move erratically with no meaning or purpose. He nervously pulls on his luxurious frock coat, as if it were uncomfortably tight. Had it been a routine technical fault, I would have decided the fate of these servitors myself, but I deemed it necessary to notify you. I do not wish to hide such irregularities from the Lord Captain. Appreciated. If you wish to observe the servitors' unusual behavior before you decide their fate, this can be arranged. The majority of the defective units have been delivered to one of the storage compartments pending your decision. Pascal Hanuman expressed the desire to be present during the inspection. Should it be carried out, I suppose the expertise of these esteemed magos may come in handy. I wish to take a look at these servitors before deciding their fate. As you wish, your ladyship. Would you like the Engineer Prime to accompany you? Yes, Pascal shall come with me. As your ladyship commands. Oh, one of these. I see. Is this our stand-in for the Rogue Trader? It's close enough, I suppose. When her ladyship arrived at the scene, she found the servitors... Actually, let's read the sector... From Valencia flagship lower decks. Material report of tech phenomenon that was observed during the Lord Captain's visit to Bay AKN 108, from the words of High Factotum Janris Danrock. When her ladyship arrived at the scene, she found the servitors in the same position that they assumed they had been... Found the servitors in the same position that they assumed they had been... Oh, sorry, I can't read. When her ladyship arrived at the scene, she found the servitors in the same position that they assumed after they had been corralled into the bay, all standing in a long spiraling line and facing the center of their strange formation. The moment her ladyship crossed the threshold of the bay gate, their bodies jerked into motion. All as one, as if obeying a command, the servitors turned to face the Lord Captain. The technomats tasked with overseeing the defective units even reached for their weapons. But then the servitors went still just as abruptly, staring at her ladyship with vacant eyes. All present held their breath. Disturbed by this sight, we waited for the Lord Captain to speak. Her ladyship Jane von Valancius... Her ladyship Jane von Valancius gestured for her Engineer Prime to study the servitors. The Engineer Prime slowly waded into the motionless... There's Pascal's name. I was just thinking, is it possible to find another Engineer? I don't know. The Engineer Prime slowly waded into the motionless ranks of the servitors, peering into their faces and checking the readings. There was no haste in Pascal's action. With mesmerizing diligence, he inspected every single unit in his path, and binaric prayers were his companions in his investigation. The examination confirmed that the technomats in... I can't read. I'm so sorry, I'm so bad at reading. The examination confirmed the Technomat's initial hypothesis. The servitors' souls, or rather the souls of the people they once were, had awakened. Ooh, that's bad. That's really fucking bad. Oh no. Not yet fully conscious of their past and present, these half-machines could nonetheless feel primitive emotions and sensations such as fear and pain. This undesirable consequence of shoddily performed lobotomy is most rarely observed, and yet for some unknown reason it had occurred in every single one of the servitors gathered into the bay. How many are there? All present held their breath, disturbed by this. Okay. Her Ladyship Jane von Valancius took several steps toward the servitors. Immediately the servitors, each and every one of them, stepped toward the Lord Captain in perfect unison. They mimicked her movements with frightening precision. The rogue trader halted in place, and after a moment's thought waved her hand, and the servitors, just as synchronously, repeated that gesture as well. When the Lord Captain turned quizzically to the Technomats, so did the servitors, as if mocking her. That's pretty funny. Whatever the Lord Captain did, be it an incline of the head, a wave of the hand, or a step to the side, the defective units repeated it without a moment's delay or hesitation, like grotesque marionettes controlled by an unseen puppeteer. We observed this mime unfold in distressed bafflement for nearly a minute until the servitors finally came to a stop. Not sensing any threat from them, the rogue trader approached with confidence. Or really, they stopped mimicking? After a little while, the Lord Captain examined the servitors. As High Factotum, it was I who had... I should be reading this in Janris' voice, but I fucking won't because I made it silly. It was I who had prompted that entire inspection, and thus it was my duty to follow the Lord Captain. As we stepped closer, we noticed a fascinating irregularity. The servitors' pupils, normally still, were shaking wildly. Their bulging veins were pulsating under their copper collars inscribed with their past offenses. If you didn't know, servitors are usually made from either criminals who have been deprived of all rights, so they can be turned into these machine people that just follow orders blindly, or they're made from like cloned people, like people cloned specifically in order to become servitors. It was as if those mindless half-machines were locked in a perpetual state of extreme tension. A visibly shaken Technomat behind us proposed that their human souls had awakened within the servitors' bodies after a long slumber deep within the lobotomized brains. Formerly bereft of intelligence, they had attained awareness, feeling, and understanding. After a pause, the Technomat added that the servitors used to function properly, and that no one had been able to explain the change in their behavior. Her gaze still trained on the motionless but animate half-machines and half-people, the Lord Captain stepped away from the servitors. Her Ladyship Jane von Valancius demanded a report on the defective unit's status from the Technomats. The Technomat's long-winded and detailed report could have been summarized in a single key point. Despite the servitors' abnormal behaviors, they were still quite capable of carrying out tasks, and therefore the circumstances did not call for their termination. This seems cruel. If they are indeed aware, I don't want them disassembled. Her Ladyship Jane von Valancius turned to me to announce her decision. Her Ladyship looked at me with unwavering resolve, and it was that confidence that wrenched me out of the nightmarish stupor that had me tensely observing the scene unfolding before me. The Lord Captain gave the order. I'm glad that the iconoclast path that I have chosen is the exact thing I wanted to do, considering the circumstances. I don't like that they're aware as servitors. I mean, I don't like servitors at all, and you're not supposed to like servitors. They're supposed to be creepy and fucked up. There's a scene in one of the what the fuck is his name? Hero of the Imperium, Caiaphas Cain. I think that's his name. Caiaphas? Cassius? Cletus Cain. Hero of the Imperium. I think it's Caiaphas Cain. There's a scene in one of those books, because he's a very reasonable man in a very unreasonable time. And he's one of those people who are willing to negotiate even with Xenos. So there's a scene of him speaking to a Tau of the Water Caste, which is their diplomats, and they're like getting along decently well. And then he's like, would you care for some refreshments, Mr. Kane says. And he brings in a servitor with drinks, and the fucking Tau starts like getting super nervous and like shaking. And he's like, I wonder why. Until he realizes that oh, she doesn't like the servitors. I think it's a she. I don't remember. The servitors are freaking her out because, yeah, they're fucked. And I am just used to having servitors around me, even though they're fucked. Anyways, the Lord Captain gave the order to dispose of the servitors so that their human souls may be released from torment. The Lord Captain's command was executed post-haste. All defective units were incinerated in furnaces, and their remains were expelled into the void. The crew was provided with replacement servitors and soon forgot all about the destroyed unit's peculiarities. Yet this incident haunts my memories to this day. With the fate of the defective servitors decided, nothing could now distract the Lord Captain from her mission. I like that. I wouldn't mind a few more little mini missions like that. Iconoclast, I'm up to 23, and when I reach 45, I'll go up to the next level. Master of Command says, we'll be able to move more. Oh well. Is this active when she's in the party? I hope so. I wonder if I can manipulate the side characters. What are those called again? Is there a name for these? Iconoclast. Conviction, is that it? It would make sense for it to be. He has a few more things he could possibly tell me. How did you come to serve the von Valancius dynasty? I come from Dargonus, your ladyship. I have been a subject of your dynasty since birth, and I have always tried to be of use for the great rogue trader. Alas, it was not my fate to be primary heir of my own family, due to my being 15th in line for the title, so I decided not to stand in the way of those behind me, in case they attempted to shorten the waiting list at my expense. He didn't want to be fucking assassinated. January lets out an almost kindly chuckle. Ho ho ho. While my brothers and sisters schemed against one another, I studied the exact sciences and mastered bookkeeping, the greatest art of the adeptus administratum. I must admit that the accumulation of wealth, something one can control, is far more exciting than hunting, carousing, and the other traditional amusements of my noble peers. I like this guy. What was it like working with Theodora? Oh, that was a tricky question, your ladyship. Do you ask it of everyone, knowing they risk losing their heads should they let slip a careless remark about your predecessor? I shall put it thus. Working with Lady Theodora was never boring and always profitable. The Imperium has billions of subjects, but very few do what they love and what they are best suited to. That is very true. I would say Lady Theodora was one of the fortunate ones. She was a model rogue trader, and she surrounded herself with those who excelled at and loved the work. Hers was a rare talent indeed. He's good. This guy's good at what he does. I wish to know what you think of your fellow crew members. Keeping tabs on your subordinates, a wise move. Tell me who interests you, and I'll endeavor to be honest as possible. His eyes light up. He's obviously eager to speak his mind. Tell me what you think of Seneschal Abelard Versarian. Lady Theodora managed to do what even the Imperial Navy could not. Teach Master Versarian to carry out orders that he fundamentally disagrees with. I do not know what methods she used, but the result is impressive. Having said that, there is something else you need to know, Lord Captain. Your Seneschal is capable of being something far greater than a mere conduit of your will. He possessed the cunning and experience to run the Protectorate passably whenever Lady Theodora was away, and that really is saying something. Keeping an eye on an old officer, I say, or alternatively, turning him into a faithful ally. Keep an eye... Oh, okay. Keep an eye on that old officer, I say, or blah 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 blah. I'd like to hear your opinion of Conrad Voitvir, the former Master of Whispers. I hope I never see him set foot aboard this vessel again, not even as a servitor. Although he would be able to do at least some good that way. Someone has to clean the latrines after all. The factotum's bloated face grows stern. He gave us all quite a fright on that ill-fated day, Lord Captain. And still, to speak candidly, I never enjoyed Master Voitvir's company, but I believed him to be a man who knew how to do his job. But regretfully, I was mistaken. It turned out Conrad lacked the most important quality for a Master of Whispers, unwavering loyalty to the rogue trader, and his failing came to light in the most deplorable manner. What do you have to say about Voxmaster Vigdis Tolliman? Ah yes, the Voidborn. You know, in my family we used such creatures as quarry whenever we went hunting. Mutants are the bane of humanity, an unseen tumor that threatens to end us all. But I digress. In the brief time Tolliman has spent in post as Voxmaster, I have not noticed any significant flaw in her character, or anything that would make me question her professional qualities. Needless to say, she is very diligent, as is any Voidborn seeking to earn the Master's affection. I believe you can trust her skills and loyalty. I am Voidborn, aren't I? Voidborn Noble is an unusual combination, but not entirely unheard of. I wish to discuss something else. I kind of want this too. That's interesting. I want to know more about the people who buy our plunder. Of course, Lord Captain. Who interests you, exactly? We most often deal with the followers of Saint Rus, the Explorators, the Casbalic Commission, or Emperors Forgive Us, the Fellowship of the Void. What is this Fellowship of the Void? January emits a laugh like gurgle. That's my best attempt at a laugh like gurgle. Pompous name, is it not? In truth, they are a gang of pirates who are forever squabbling over loot and territory. However, some of their little flotillas need supplies, or can take awkward cargo off our hands without asking questions. Of course, there is always risk that these scoundrels will change their mind and attempt to board us instead, but so far our macro cannons have managed to keep them in line. They say Rissa Calvaria speaks on the Fellowship's behalf. The Adeptus Amasecus on footfall is rumored to be her favorite haunt. Tell me more about the Explorators. Members of the Explorator Cognizance fleet, which has been roaming the Corona's expanse for a good while now. Omniscient knows that what they are hoping to find, but their acolytes regularly show up on inhabited worlds, seeking bits of sacred knowledge, tracking down mechanical relics, and sniffing out Xeno artifacts if truth be told. Supposedly they want to save the ignorant rabble from corruption. A tech priest named Opticon 22 does business with us on the fleet's behalf. He can be found at the docks on footfall. I am interested in the Cabalica mission. I just want to know a bunch of stuff. Masters of the cold trade, immoral criminals, and notorious crooks to the last man. The mission is but one branch of this mafia gang that has taken root in the Calixus sector. You can do business with them as long as you take the necessary precautions. They are led by Vladimir Tokara, who recently appointed himself Liege of Footfall. Of course, he is a trusted ally of rogue trader Winterscale, but he will not refuse you, another of the Emperor's anointed. If you wish to talk to Vladimir, go look for him in the Liege's palace on Footfall. And what do the followers of St. Drusus require from us? The Drusians will still hope to bring the Coroner's expanse into the warm embrace of the faith, just as their flock hopes to receive the aid of the Drusian missionaries. Each crate of food, shipment of clothes, or box of medicine marked with your seal is a sign the rogue trader herself believes in the sect's future success. Reverend Hieronymus is the first among the Drusians, and is most often seen in Footfall's grand atrium. A gloomy fellow, but some almost believe him to be a saint. Reverend Hieronymus, that's the stupidest name I've ever heard. I love it. Why are we giving our spoils to these people in the first place? To profit from them, of course. Most of the things you will find during expeditions are complete junk to one such as yourself, but the less fortunate and affluent servants of the Emperor think them treasures, especially when they are bestowed by the great rogue trader herself. The Rusian fanatics and pirate cutthroats, Caspalica dealers and explorators. None will refuse our help in these dark and trying times. And there may come a time when we shall be the ones requiring aid, and it would be beneficial to have allies willing to provide it. And I suggest we change the subject. Is there anything else I want to... I want to ask this question as well. Last one. Have you ever heard the name Fiery Reckoning? From what I can tell, it is a void ship of some sort. Jandris thinks for a moment, pursing his lips in concentration. I am afraid it is not immediately familiar to me, your ladyship. Please allow me a moment. He starts rapidly tapping on the screen of his data slate. I say, House von Valancius did indeed sign a contract with the owners of a vessel with the designation Fiery Reckoning. There are transactions, records of the ship picking up cargo from Kiava Gamma. Well, this is odd. The data log ends there. Apparently the ship had some interactions with one of the workshops on your industrial world. I beg your pardon, your ladyship, but that is the extent of the assistance I can provide you in regard to this particular matter. That's gonna have to be enough for now. I really enjoy all the reading, but we need to get things done as well. Speaking of getting things done, let's see. We have the that it is moving, this ship. I think we should give chase. As much as I want to proceed with the Sabonum and everything, hopefully no one gets mad at me if I pursue this ship here. Oh, Raver. The Vox crackers to life and Master Helmsman Raver addresses you. Oh, we have here, Lord Captain. It is not very noticeable, but there's a void ship sitting in the local asteroid field. Sure is quiet, like it's huddled up in there on purpose. It's not like I'm surprised. The thing is more scrap heap than ship at this point. Somebody sure went to town on it. We are registering critical damage to the hull and depressurization of several compartments. Oh, there's an incoming transmission now too. You hear us? The Vox transmission hisses and abruptly cuts to static. Do not require assistance. Repeat. Do not require assistance. Copy. The Vox relays a different voice. Keep following. They'll pass us by, won't they? Protects. Lord Captain, I am told our August cannot determine the allegiance of the vessel. To be brief, there is an unidentified and badly damaged vessel within an asteroid field near the Arcadiphilia colony that is refusing help. which, not to put too fine a point on, has not yet been offered to them. Rather, can we establish communication? Let the vessel identify itself. If I tell you to put it on the main screen like in Star Trek, will you? It's fine. Yes, Lord Captain, the connection is established. Unknown vessel, we are receiving you. Identify yourselves. I repeat, identify yourselves. For a brief moment, the Vox only hisses and snaps, then several voices at once start shouting over one another. Do not tell him, we are done for. This is Thunderfang. We are... Thunderfang. Is this where we find our Space Wolf? One of the voices falter uncertainly and is replaced by another. A merchant vessel, do you copy? We are a private merchant vessel. Merchant vessel? Of course they are. Damn my stupid head, where did I hear this name before? Thunderfang. Thunderfang, why can we not identify you? You can make out hoarse and furious whispering, even over the crackling of the static. Why? I don't know. What if... Certainly not. The whispering dies, and a clear, youthful voice cuts through the static. Our vessel is badly damaged. A mesh is preventing the correct identification. We assure you, full mace version vessel. Thunderfang does not require aid. Rather, damage report on the unknown vessel. Telemetry shows multiple hull breaches, most likely caused by the guns of a combat ship. Several compartments are leaking air. The bridge has been almost completely obliterated. 2 of the engines are critically damaged. Somebody gave them a thrashing so solid they barely managed to limp away. Thunderfang, your vessel is badly damaged. What happened to you? The Vox responds by bursting into a cacophony of sounds, words and emotions. Someone chuckles bitterly, another swears with some foul expletives, and yet another hisses, furiously demanding that the others shut up. You manage to make out little from all this noise. We were just flying, minding our own business. Straight out of the blue and open fire. Miracle we could get away, Emperor protected. And then more fire. Who? Void only knows. Roasted our tail, bombed everything. The folks are left with our help. We never got to them. Thunderfang, now stop playing games and explain again what you forgot in the area. And this time I highly recommend the truth. Happy now? What have you done, idiot? It is too late now. The Vox channel is again filled with the angry whispering of several voices. Fellowship of the Void. The whispers and statics are drowned out by a clear and slightly frightened voice. Do you copy? We are from the Fellowship of the Void. We do not come here to loot. On a different business. To help our own out of jail. Do not hurt, please. We already had our Kronos cleaned. How about striking a deal? Our hold is full of goods. In case you're unaware, Lord Captain, the Fellowship of the Void is a disorderly assembly of several dozen pirate factions in the Kronos expanse. They consider themselves above regular heretics solely because they sometimes have Vox conversations with those whom they are about to board. Were it up to me, I would make them eat a salvo from the macro cannons to shake the scum loose from the decks. They certainly deserve it. The honeyed voice of the high factotum interrupts the translation with a polite cough. I would wait on destroying the vessel if I were you. Although the moral aspects of their livelihood do cause some awkward questions, the Fellowship of the Void remains a major supplier of goods to the local market. Perhaps you will find dealing with them acceptable, especially when jumping to warp is impossible. I don't know what I think about pirates. But as long as they're not like chaos fuckers, I can be down with some friendly conversation at the very least. Thunderfang, prepare for commercial exchange. A proper flamer. Camouflage robe. I'll grab these melta charges if you don't mind. Fuck it, I'll grab what you have. You have a force grenade, you got fencing body glove. Some med kits are always nice to have. Reaper cape. An axe. Two-handed melee weapon. Hello. A Ritobi pattern greatsword. It does quite a lot of damage. Although I don't have the... What can I get? I can get the med kit. I can get these force grenades. I can get an autogun. Noise suppression helmet. Ooh, a power maul. Maces and hammers have a special attack that pushes the enemy away. It's not the best in terms of damage, but it has a lot of armor penetration. And it can shove. Should we, They like heretic stuff. I don't really have any Xeno stuff that I know of. Jewelry is something they enjoy. Don't know that I have much of that. I do have some Xeno artifacts. You know what? I'm not that interested, and I'm sure I can find better alternatives. That'll have to be it for now. Thank you for the stuff. There's the Thunderfang. Now it's marked on the map. I'm gonna glide over here. And now we have a couple options. Starport. We can go to the Snowbomb. Is this the bunker? I'm sure this is the bunker. Let's just have a check. Let me just... Yeah, command center. Return to void ship. That was just little... I just want to be sure, you know. Ooh, this is a nice little graphic of the void ship hanging in orbit above Rykad. Now, let's go to the electrodynamic Cenobium, and I will bring the whole crew. Agility hazards, demolition. Okay. Hello. We'll cover the landing area, ladyship. Glory to the von Valancius dynasty. So these are my boys then. Which is nice. That's just part of being a rogue trader, is having like a bunch of dudes at your beck and call, because you're just that powerful. Fuel tanks. Okay, so I'm understanding more what the numbers on the cargo means now. I'm gonna want to look at that a little bit more. Okay, we got athletics to do what? I'm not sure, but let's try it.
Unexpected result.
There we go. Medkit, thank you very much. Frag grenades. Mechanicus creations and ranged weaponry. Ooh, awareness 100. Thank you, Cassia. They were the same guards the governor sent to the... Ooh, that's bad. Lore Imperium.
I won't let it define me.
It's been shattered into pieces at the hands of the blasphemous. Was that a successful check? I I think
I
so.
always keep my options open.
Okay, we got a big old door and a cogitator to open the gate with. Let's examine the outside thoroughly first. Oh, we're very high up. Which is par for the course, I suppose. With imperial architecture.
Keep your wits about you.
At least on... Like, there was an underhive in the last locale, suggesting this is indeed a hive world. Which... A hive is basically a humongous megacity with more... higher population than the Earth at current time.
Let us not dawdle.
Let us not dawdle. Find previous cues. Danger. Watch yourself. The heretics were killed swiftly and ruthlessly. They never had time to reach for their weapons. Pascal suggested they probably turned the traps on. Might be traps. Darkness lurks beyond the bright flashes. No, two darknesses, one is tricky. Okay. Sure. One red, one yellow. Mercifully quick electric colors of this place are flecked with sparks of pain. Bright scarlet, blackish crimson, deathly grey. Kaleidoscope of despair and madness. Mercifully quick electric shock was not what killed this. Was not what killed this. It's like he was tortured. That's bad.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
You note that the wire junctions are often marked with a symbol of a key that appears to connect to two lines. Huh. Not sure what that means, really. We have this big generator things. Open door, please. Oh, hello. Oh dear. Heinrichs.
I will repeat my question again. The last electro priest you killed, where did you find him? Burn in the fire of dawn, servant of the cop! And another one meets the
Wow.
limit of his utility. The last of them.
You sure look like an inquisitor. Oh, look at fucking Dina there. The tall, dark-haired man sizes you up with a quick glance. A supernatural chill is making the air around him crackle softly. The expensive fabric of his jacket is stitched with gold thread and marked by several reddish-brown stains. A foresword and a vox hangs from his belt, and the emblem of the Holy Inquisition glitters on his chest. There it is. I think. Actually, I don't really see... That's the closest thing, but that looks more like the symbol of the ecclesiarchy, or I might be mistaken. Continue. You try to focus on the man in front of you, but you cannot shake the image of the deadly torture he inflicted on his victim. Your pulse quickens, blood pounding in your ears and sweat beading on your skin. That's funny. Interrogator Van Kalox, I presume.
Yes. Since you know who I am, and are in no hurry to kill me, I infer that you serve the Emperor, not his enemies.
Indeed.
Allow me to introduce myself. Interrogator
Oh, Ordo
Felix
Xenos.
Van Kalox of the Imperial Inquisition's esteemed Ordo Xenos. With whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
There are three major ordos within the Inquisition. Xenos, Malleus, and Hereticus. Xenos deals with aliens. Malleus deals with demons, and Hereticus deals with heretics, as you might imagine. The room starts to get noticeably warmer. He's using psychic powers. He's a psyker, which is not uncommon for Inquisitors. Idira recoils from the interrogator.
A great big sun-eclipsing, chain-weaving shadow. I can see the threads, myriads of them extending toward us all, and all of them creeping off toward him like snakes, shrouding us in poison. My, oh my, do I sense trouble, and it's right in my throat. It itches.
A puff of black smoke comes out of the psyker's mouth and dissipates at once. Jeez.
A psyker? Interesting. And a diviner at that. Even more interesting. Are you sanctioned?
That's a bad question.
Don't you Inquisition me! I'm under the Rogue Trader's protection.
Idira is a member of my personal retinue and is under my protection.
Your retinue, you say? Then let's go back to my previous question. With whom do I have the honor of speaking?
Interrogator rests his intent gaze for another moment. Okay. Rogue trader Jane von Valancius.
To the best of my knowledge, that dynasty is headed by the esteemed Theodora von Valancius. Has there been a change of circumstances?
Theodora is dead, slain in battle by enemies of humanity.
The news is lamentable. My condolences. And I presume the heir to the sacred warrant of trade and the lofty title of Rogue Trader is none other than yourself.
Correct.
Well then, what precisely has brought you to the sanctum of the Omnissiah?
I am here to collect you. I am under orders from the Lord Inquisitor to offer any assistance you may require, after which I am to provide you safe passage to footfall aboard my ship.
Then the timing of our meeting is fortuitous. I am requisitioning you and your retinue for my task.
Really. Heinrich ruminates silently on what you have told him, and then he makes a as we heard.
Requisitioning? Young man, your choice of words is unseemly to the point of insult. You're addressing a rogue trader.
This will be interesting. The Inquisition and rogue traders are kind of on the same level of socio-political power. The level where you kinda get to do whatever the fuck you want and no one can stop you. So this is about these two people are some of the most powerful singular individuals in the Imperium. This will be quite interesting.
I don't imagine you'll be any happier if I say taking into inquisitorial custody.
Continue.
To aid his faithful servant in the fight against corruption is the solemn duty of all whose actions affect millions of the Imperium subjects. Let your example guide those who will carry the Emperor's light across 1,000 stars.
You are familiar with the works of Inquisitor Alistar the Redeemer. Not every acolyte can say the same, let alone people less initiated. Please forgive my lapse in manner, Lady Navigator Orselio. It is a great honor.
He saw the coat of arms.
I came to Rykad Minoris on a mission, which a rebellion prevented me from fulfilling.
Indeed.
The governor is convinced that malcontents from among the rabble were the instigators, but I immediately suspected a more sinister presence.
You're not wrong.
The mutiny. My visit to the monastery and a few unhurried conversations with some of the rebels confirmed my suspicions. Someone by the name of Aurora
We are
is
aware.
leading the rebellion. Data indicates that the head of the cultists is here right now.
Oh dear.
In the sanctum of the ancient reactor. Given the prophecy of the final dawn and the especial efforts made by the enemies of humanity to seize the monastery, their goal is to gain access to the holy power source's control circuit and trigger a process that, once started, cannot be stopped. In other words, to detonate the reactor, thus being themselves the cause of their much-touted final dawn.
Blasphemous insanity.
The tech priest's visor flashes and turns bloody scarlet. A soft hum of some activating systems is heard from under his robe. Precisely what were you doing at the monastery?
I arrived here with an escort squad, only to lose it in our very first open skirmish. The monastery is swarming with heretics. The soldiers I requisitioned from the governor fell in battle, bled to death, or deserted. I had to make do with catching and forcefully interrogating individual rebels. It is from them that I learned what I relayed to you just now.
And what did you do to him?
I convinced him to cooperate. I can influence living bodies, and I find that the interrogated are much more eager to share information once the blood starts to boil in their veins.
Very well, I can help you with Aurora. Let's join forces.
Thank you. Regrettably, the governor's people showed themselves to be unprepared for the perils of this place. And extracting blade shards from a person's stomach is beyond my powers. I hope that a rogue trader's retinue will prove more capable than a group of soldiers fresh off the base. I am positive that not all of the electro-priests within these walls have perished. The heretics spoke of shadows emerging from side alleys to make short work of the cultists invading their abode. I surmise that the entrance to their hiding place is somewhere in the hall, near a machine known as the Circular Cogitator. I imagine it's one of the local sacred relics which the electro-priests treat with special piety.
Let's see. He joins us? Fascinating. As I have been saying, I'm putting Idira on the bench. Gleam of the Final Dawn. What archetype are you even? You're a warrior? Fascinating. Okay, we're gonna have to figure some things out. You have higher weapon skill strength, decent agility, decent willpower. Are you a full Inquisitor? Maybe it's not. Maybe I was being silly thinking, oh, he's got Lord Xenos. That's pretty good. I'm not sure we're gonna be buddies with him though. Dogmatic 2. Not... He might be lower on this scale. Maybe he's a radical. We'll see. We'll see. Now... what do we want? I think I want this guy to be offensive. That seems pretty decent. Okay. Do you have biomancy? There's a fucking lot of text. That's a lot of text. Let's see. What do we go for? Do we just go for Desolation? I think weapon skill is one of our better options. Let's see. Hammer of the Emperor. Sanctic Powers, Siren 2. Don't have that. Yeah, why not? What else do we have? Slash ability. Slash does. Nah. That's kind of interesting. But let's focus on the melee right now. What's your Medicaid? I don't know if you even if you're even trained. I mean, why not let him focus on the Xenos lore? I'm not sure he's gonna be our buddy for all that much longer. If he's not a radical, but we'll figure it out. Force weapons, huh? Do you have one of those? Oh, actually, since they're reaching level 10, they'll be able to take that. Are you not supposed to level up to level 10? Is it after you've done that? I don't know. Huh. Don't know about that one. That's pretty cool. I mean, if he's gonna dash in and kill people, might as well, you know? Keep pumping Xenos lore. Can't buy it. Charge distance, huh? It's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Let's just grab that. People next to him just get hurt more. Honestly, that's just good. Oh dear, there's so many choices to be made. Here I can get Psy rating 1. Nice. Get some more strength. I think we're done. Oh, that took some time. But now we have a fucking Inquisitor in our retinue. I was not expecting that.
I always have a backup plan.
And he goes here? Fair enough, I suppose. I think that's gonna be it for right now. Let's look at this bed. Hard, uncomfortable, somno meditation bed. Okay. I will see you when we come back and we go looking for electro priests, I believe was the task. So see you later.